welcome to the Justin Hamilton podcast. My name is, of course, Justin Hamilton, and today we're going to be covering episode one of Alien Earth. It dropped the first two episodes this week, and I quite like that. You know, from listening to this podcast before, or maybe this is the first time you've listened to it. I like a weekly, especially if I really like a series. I want to be able to stick with it week to week. I want to think about it. I want to have things happen and I want them to linger in the back of my head. And then I want to have an idea of where I think it's going to go and then have a TV show either surprise me or make me feel really good about myself because I got it right. But I do like the idea of dropping the first two. It gives you an opportunity to get into the swing of things and feel the flavor of a TV series, so you know where you're going and you know you can kind of work out if you want to stick with it. I'm not really into doing the binge model unless it's a show that I think's fine. If it's fine, I don't mind, but if it's something I like, I want it to linger in my mind for as long as possible. So we're going to discuss that today. Before we get into that, we have a sponsor. Yes, we have a sponsor. Big shout out to Wonder Pies. They make the most delicious pies that I've tasted in a long time. And they kind of feel a little bit old school. And just so you know, I'm not reading off a script or anything. I already like these pies. The first time I tasted one, I tried the cauliflower pie. You may have already heard me talk about it. And it just gets that ratio of crust and filling perfect. And it feels like an old school pie in that regard. I'm a vegetarian, so there's plenty of meat options. But if you're someone who has been recently turning over to the vegan lifestyle or the vegetarian lifestyle and you kind of still miss meat, there's a vegan beef pie that is. Well, I had to have the woman serving me warn me that lots of vegetarians take it back because they think it's real beef. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure, no worries. And I took a bite of it and I was like, oh, God damn, I would have been convinced that this was beef. So if you're still missing that taste, there are options there for you. But there's heaps of different types of pies and pasties and different types of pastries as well. So head to wonderpies.com.au. And yeah, they're all designed by Ray Capaldi, who's a mate of mine, and they are delicious. So thank you to Wonder Pies and go and check them out. Uh, so I'll tell you about some gigs that are coming up at the end of this, but I want to get into Alien Earth. It feels funny to be talking about food and then get into Alien. Now, I don't know if you've watched this already, and if so, if you're trying to match it up with all the different movies. I love the Alien franchise. Alien is in my top five horror movies of all time, and I like Aliens, but not as much. I prefer the first one. The first one, and this is just a preference, it's not saying one is better than the other. But the first one got that Lovecraftian feel where you don't quite know what you're up against. And when I first watched it as a kid, you know, I always wondered what was going on with that the husk of that alien who had been what they thought was sending out a distress signal, but was actually sending a warning signal. And you know, I know that was explained in Prometheus, but there was a lot of time where I just wondered what was going on there. Uh, Not all the movies are great. But there's things that I kind of like in all of them. Alien 3 has some parts that are quite fun. Alien Resurrection is kind of batshit crazy, but it has one of the most horrific scenes in any of the Alien movies when Ripley comes across all the different versions of her, all the different clones. So it's like, whoa, that is a wild, wild scene. Um, Alien Predators don't really do anything for me, but so there's still a little part of me that's kind of enjoys the mashup of the two franchises. Prometheus is deeply flawed, and I still kind of love it. I kind of all the things I love about it overwhelm the things that I don't like about it, but I can't in good faith say it's great. Uh, then Alien Resurrection is a little bit the same, not quite as good as Prometheus for me. And then Alien Romulus gets a lot of things right, and it's just a couple of things that don't work for me. The "get away from her, you bitch" line in Alien Romulus is like, that character wouldn't say that, and it takes you out of the film, you know. But there were lots of things that I did like about it. I love Noah Hawley's work. Obviously, the Fargo series, one of my favorite ongoing series, and I love the anthology approach to it. And his Legion is really underrated. It's one of the uh, best and most interesting takes on the superhero genre, and especially considering it's in the world of X-Men. And that was a series that I really dug. So I was keen to see what he was going to do with this. I've noticed people, as I said earlier, and maybe you're one of these people as well, who is trying to work out the chronology of all of this. And I don't really know uh, what to say to that other than uh, after these first two episodes, I'm kind of not doing that. I'm kind of not really uh, worried about how this all matches up. I guess I'm approaching this a little bit like when I was a kid and I used to, pick up random comics. And if I tried to work out how everything fitted in with Batman in his own comic and then hanging out with the Justice League of America and then appearing in World's Finest and then appearing in the Brave and the Bold and then, oh, now he's in The Outsiders. Like it's just too much. And also the idea of Batman changes over the years. You've got the detective 70s version. You've got the big burly version, The Dark Knight Returns. You've got the Dark Batman. You've got all sorts. You've got Camp Batman. So, it's one of those things where I just kind of create my own continuity and enjoy what I'm reading or watching to take me wherever it wants to take me. And that's how I've approached this. I don't really know if this is going to match up perfectly with the original Alien. I don't know if this is going to contradict Prometheus. It kind of does. I guess you could say maybe the character of David, played by Michael Fassbender, didn't create the aliens. Maybe he just made a version of the aliens, and these creatures have been uh, floating around in space for a long time. I kind of don't mind that. I kind of like that there's just no sense of where they come from. I think it kind of makes them more terrifying. So I just kind of have treated this like I treat Hawley's Fargo. Uh, I don't try to work out how Fargo fits into the Coen Brothers universe, and I'm not going to try and make this fit in. And I'm just happy to see what he presents, and maybe these things will come together and maybe this will be its own thing, and that's fine. Uh, it has a great start. It's set in the year 2120, and it starts very much like Alien. It's a crew waking up. They've been on a mission for about 65 years for Weyland-Yutani, the corporation that looms large in the aliens mythology. Um, Unlike the first film, these guys know they've been picking up some weird shit out there. Now, I didn't get the impression that they were sent out to get those things. I feel like they've been out on a mission to find things and capture them and bring them home. I'm not sure if I'm correct about that. That's just my interpretation of it. And if you have a spaceship full of alien creatures that could kill you, chances are they're going to kill you. And that's what happens early on. Apart from one crew member who is a cyborg who manages to. It seems like he's working with the corporation, and this is all classic alien tropes. Just before we get into it, just so you know, there's three types of people in this. There's Homo sapiens, you know them. I guess you're one of them. There's cyborgs, and cyborgs seem to be humans who have been, if I'm getting this correctly, have been augmented. And then there's these new types of humans who are synthetics, and We soon learn about the synthetics. We end up on an island that is owned by the Prodigy Corporation. Seems like the world is broken up into power structures run by corporations. The Prodigy Corporation seems to be a smaller one, a newer one on the block, and it is led by Boy Cavalier. Great name. And I'd never seen Samuel Blenkin before, who plays that character, but he's great. I really enjoyed him. He's kind of like the boy genius who runs this corporation, and he's been working on this new technology. And what they've done is they've taken young people who are terminally ill and transferred their minds from their original bodies into these synthetic bodies, thus creating a new type of person. And you know, I'm the main character that we meet there is a young girl called Marcy who gets transferred to her new body and takes on a new name, Wendy. There's a lot of allusions to Peter Pan in this, and we'll talk about some of the Easter eggs and all of that stuff a little bit later on. But you know, uh, she's reborn as this character, Wendy, and she has been taken away from her family, and she's still emotionally connected to her brother, a man who works for the army, seems to be working on the medical side at the army. His name is Hermit, and she would like to. Well, she's watching him from afar in this first episode. Sorry, I've watched both episodes, so I'm trying to do one at a time. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get it correct. Uh, anyway, the spaceship that is full of the dangerous aliens crashes into the Prodigy city of New Siam. And this is such a good choice because it smashes into this high-rise building. And so what we end up with is a hybrid storyline. We have a storyline on a spaceship, which is great, which is what we want from Alien, but it's also in a big building and kind of gives it a haunted house quality as well. So now uh, the Prodigy soldiers are going in to clean up, find survivors, clear out people in the building who might not quite realize what's going on, and there are a few people who don't quite know what's going on, and the synthetic crew led by Wendy decide that they would like to go in and find out what is going on. Meanwhile, the cyborg in the ship who crashed, who managed to survive, his name is Morrow. He seems to be trying to collect all of the product that they have brought back. There's something quite interesting about this. The Lost Boys, which are the kind of the synthetics. I know some people aren't quite into this. Children in indestructible bodies who are still a little bit childlike. Depending on what your patience is for that kind of storyline, maybe you might not like that, but I quite liked it. I thought all of the acting was really good and in character. They're led by Timothy Olyphant, who is playing the character. Where are my notes? He plays Kirsch. Um, he seems to be, um, uh, you know, he seems to be channeling Rutger Hauer and David Bowie all at the same time. Two things that I love very much. So I'm extremely happy to uh, see that as an amalgamation. I love Timothy Olyphant at the best of times, but damn, I really love him in this so far. He's leading the synthetics to go in, and I think the first episode is set up. You know where it's going, and there might be smaller stories within that, but the overall thrust of it is pretty straightforward. So Wayland Yutani are trying to, through Morrow, keep all their product and get it back to somewhere that they own, somewhere else in the world that they own. We've got Kid Cavalier sending in his team because it's on his island, so therefore he considers it's his. He seems pretty like most young geniuses divorced from reality. Um, it's interesting. I actually mean this as a compliment, but uh, I wonder how Jesse Eisenberg will feel when he sees this performance because I feel like that's what he was going for with his version of Lex Luthor in Batman versus Superman. I feel like his version of Lex Luthor for that Snyderverse was not a bad choice, but it just wasn't in a good film. Does that make sense? Well, a film that I didn't particularly enjoy. So seeing it here in this world, it's interesting because I think it works much better. We have Wendy and her crew who are going in to save people, but Wendy wants to reunite with her brother. Her brother, who is there with the army, is going in to save people, and there's just a whole lot of aliens running around. And I think this uh, show does a really good job of using what you know. Um, for you and what you don't know against you. And I mean that as a positive in the way that it tells the storylines. We know that the way the alien acts is, we know its habits, we know how quick it is, we know the way it will kill, we know about the eggs, we know all that stuff. The other aliens we don't know, and we'll talk more about them in the second episode. But I have to say, this is the first film I've seen in a long while that has seriously creeped me out. And I think they do a really good job of creating new monsters that delve into other fears that we have. The alien itself is, going back to when it first was invented, was something that tied into sorry, I'll have to use the word, but it's very much a rape kind of culture with the alien. It's penetration, it's forced against your will, it's impregnation, uh, it's something that is a very fair enough fear that we all have. Whether consciously or subconsciously, and all of the new aliens that they've chosen seem to fit into some other deep-rooted fears that we have. I love the retro-futurism of it. Um, there's allusions to things like Peter Pan. Maybe we can have a look at the different, uh, Easter eggs that were in the first episode. Um, you know, there is Ice Age. I don't know which film it would be. I think it's I don't know. I've never seen any of the Ice Age movies. I had to do a little bit of reading online actually and try to find out why is the Ice Age like I figured it means something. And I was reading, let's have a look if I can find it amongst my notes. Esquire.com, if you want to go and check that out. It says, and I won't go into it so you can look it up, but the author is hypothesizing that Ice Age mirrors the story of alien Earth. Um, it's got a baked-in tragedy. Ice Age hinges on the inevitability of warming temperatures and the end of their way of life, and it's an interesting read by Eric Francisco, but maybe you would like to go and check that out. Um, uh, Kid Cavalier or Boy Cavalier talks about he reads from Peter Pan. Marcy has her consciousness transferred into this synthetic body, and she takes on the name of Wendy. And so all the Peter Pan allusions are there. I quite like that there is in this retro futuristic world there are allusions to modern day pop culture. It would be to me like someone who is, you know, like setting a sci-fi story now and that leads into Bogart. But this is all the stuff that we saw in Prometheus as well. Like in Prometheus, he's watching Lawrence of Arabia and styling himself to look like that. So uh, once again, Noah Hawley very good at taking all of these things from all these different aspects of the Alien films and mixing them into a whole new style and storyline. So I liked all of that personally. Once again, it's up to you how you feel about those things. They might take you out of it, but I liked that. The opening titles were and the sounds, that's all like straight out of Alien. Um, we've talked about the ship, we've talked about the year. Oh, have you noticed that the alien is kind of running around on all fours? So I'm wondering if that is, uh, you know, that's referencing Alien 3 to a certain point. There is the Maginot, which is the name of the ship. So Maginot comes from this thing that was uh, built by France in the 1930s and was named after their Minister of War, who was Andre Maginot, and it was a defensive line that was meant to stop Nazi Germany from invading. And if you know anything about World War II, you know that it did not work, and France was taken very quickly. So basically, it was a really well thought out, expensive idea that failed completely. And that might be maybe don't name your ship after that. What do you reckon? Don't name your ship after that. Maybe it's a poor choice in naming. I might name my spaceship after something really successful. Um, we of course the Wayland Yutani computer is called Mother. That's all alien lore. Um, there's a bit where just before Marcy is about to have her consciousness transferred over, um, she says, "Will I dream?" And that feels like it's a callback to Newt in Aliens, who I think just before she goes into hyperspace, she says, "Can I dream?" So that's pretty interesting. Well, not interesting. That's just a nice little knowledge. All the cars and the guns and everything that feels completely like James Cameron and Aliens. We've got face huggers. The music seems to be sampling a little bit from Jerry Goldsmith's original score. And I don't know if you know what Noah Hawley looks like, but when we see him in flashback, he is Hermit, Joe, and Marcy's father. So that is all just a nice little look. What other notes did I write down? The alien looks metal, doesn't it? That's quite terrifying. Um, and there's something fascinating about how oops, I nearly picked up the episode 2 notes. Um, yeah, you know what? No, I'll save that for the next one. Um, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm into the flow. I like that there's kind of like a dreamlike quality to it. Once again, maybe that's not for you, but it really appealed to me. I feel like I'm getting not only a mix and match of all the Aliens films, like even Alien Romulus feels like it's represented with Hermit trying to get out of his job. And I've just drawn a blank on his name. Give me 1 second. But the lead actor, who is, God damn it, Alex Lawther. We just saw him in Andor, and he played an incredibly important character in Andor. So, um, you know, uh, he's doing all right. If you're going to be in two of the best sci-fi franchises of all time, he was in Andor, which is, I got to be honest, overtaken every Star Wars product, and is my favorite. And maybe Alien Earth will get there. I doubt it'll ever overcome Alien, but maybe it'll go slip into number two. It might get up there. And also, just while I think of it, Sydney Chandler is the daughter of Carl Chandler, who has been in lots of things but was Coach in Friday Night Lights, and I do love Coach. What a great character. One of those characters where you go, ah, oh, God damn it, why wasn't he my dad? Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose, right? Anyway, I love the vibe, I love the textures, I love the storytelling. I'm curious to see where this is going to go. It upends expectations quite readily, which is nice. I would have said before this started we wouldn't see an alien until there's 8 episodes, what, maybe episode 5 at the earliest? Nah, get in there, give us what we want. And there's something that happens in episode 2 that once again I would have thought would have been a episode 5 or 6 thing, but they just get in there and do it. And I like that because that means that you have to come up with different story ideas, and that is what makes it feel uh, original within the comfort level of something that you recognize. I also feel like I'm getting a taste of course, Alien. That goes without saying, but Blade Runner. I feel like I'm getting a taste of Devs. Um, at times the shots kind of look like a Kubrick shot. Yeah, I think it's just a really interesting synthesis of lots of different ideas all put together and into something that looks right up my alley. So, I will record the podcast for episode 2. I'll probably do it tomorrow, actually, and I'll get that out. And we'll try to get onto I've got a pretty crazy few weeks coming up, but we'll try and I'll do my best to try and make this a weekly podcast for you so we can enjoy watching it together. Um, all right, let's leave that there for the moment. Just a couple of things for you, gig-wise. If you are in Adelaide on the 19th of September, it's the whole year. Adelaide Comedy is celebrating 25 years. They've been doing lots of different things throughout the year to celebrate, and I've been trying to help out where I can. I'm going to be back in Adelaide at the Rhino Room on the 19th of September. Mickey D and I are going to be doing 2 lots of stand-up, and then we're going to be recording a live podcast about Mickey D's career. So if you would like to come along to that, head to adelaidecomedy.com and you'll be able to find some tickets there. I think that's just gone on sale, so it'd be good to get in early if you are free that night. And then there'll be some other stuff. I'm going to be in Brisbane in December. I'll give you more details about that later. But for all my Brisbane friends, I haven't performed there for so long. So I'm looking forward to getting back up there. So keep an eye out for that. Just a couple of other things to plug over at Patreon, patreon.com/Justin Hamilton. You can find a tier that suits you and get access to live stand-up comedy shows that I've filmed, bonus podcasts, all sorts of things. Patreon subscribers get opportunities for being either put on the door or free tickets to live events. Or at the very least, heavily discounted, depending on depending on whether I'm controlling it or not. If it's someone else's, it's a bit hard to make it free, but if it's mine, I'll put you on for free. So if you would like more stuff, please head over and subscribe there. All money made goes back into the running of this podcast, to be honest. And also, for those of you who like my writing, over at Substack, you can find and subscribe to either a free blog that comes out called Dispatches from the Fury Road. Used to be on my website. It's now over at Substack. And there's also a paid subscription where I'm just started a new ongoing series called One Foot in the Spotlight, where I will be covering um, pretty much my career and all the things I've learned over 30 plus years in the industry. So I've gone right back to 1994. We're kicking off, and there'll be lessons in it, how I've developed my style, how writing has changed, how comedy has changed, and there's going to be lots of personal stories as well. So if you would like to subscribe to that, uh, Justin Hamilton Comedian at Substack, you will find me easily there. Um, and there's a YouTube page. Yeah, I'm slowly getting there with the YouTube page. There's so much going on at the moment. And in all honesty, all I do is work. I gotta have some time off. Thank God for Alien. I sit there for an hour and I just go, I'm enjoying this. And then suddenly, oh, I better make a podcast, better make a video. You can find my YouTube page, which is slowly building. If you'd like to subscribe and slowly find more and more stuff being added there, that is Justin Hamilton Comedian as well. I'm going to revamp the website soon too, so then I'll just be able to, rather than give you all these different names, I'll just be able to direct you to the website and you'll be able to find what suits you. But if this is all you do, if you just listen to the podcast or you just watch this video, that is more than enough. You know, good reviews are always welcomed, but I know you're busy and giving up any time is deeply appreciated. Let me know either on the socials at Instagram or Threads or Blue Sky or well, Facebook what you're thinking of Alien Earth. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, and I hope that you're going to join me over these next few weeks to see where this story is going to go. All right, I'll be back soon with uh, coverage of the second episode. But you know what? We'll speak soon. Until then.